Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get rolling. We are gonna take however. Hello, Tom Tom. Hey, your bubby. Hello. I don't know if you guys can see him, but we are going to take however long it's gonna take in order to wrap up the adolescence chapter. You guys don't know the way that things work around here. I've played this whole thing so far in one weekend. You are literally just seeing a massive backlog of material that I played like forever ago. So, I believe I am going to buy the game. I would assume this will be the end of it unless you see another episode, but I'm going to try to get through the rest of what's free on the demo. Atomic, go settle somewhere. But yeah, so here's the deal. I knew I was going to start off with something. I was offering to you guys, if you wanted to participate in the gameplay, I will set up a live stream thing, and we can do like a live stream type of chat thing where you guys can participate in the decision making process. So if you want to do that, just let me know in the comments below. And honestly, I'd love to hear what you guys think about my boy Bermp and how I've been playing him. Alright, so here we go, playing until adolescence is finished, even if it takes like an hour and a half. Stefan leaves soon after the trial alone. Grandfather does not go with him. For the first time in a long while, he lingers in the house for more than a fortnight. That's very interesting. Father says Sir Gregor is ill and needs is the result of the trial like actually going to kill him? Several months go by and it becomes clear that grandfather will not recover. Yep. Wow. Didn't mean to wish that on you, dude. I'd have been fine if you just stopped being an a-hole and other things to us. The eldest Brante is mostly bedridden now. On some days he has trouble recognizing people, which when he means to address you or Nathan, he calls you Robert, your father's name. But when he goes out of bed, the house grows. But when he does get out of bed, the house grows empty. The servants hide. Mother locks herself in her chambers. You and Nathan run outside or hide quietly in your rooms. If grandfather sees anyone in the hallways, he begins lamenting. Nobody heeds the lots any longer. Any harlot with a child can marry a nobleman these days. Children have no respect. His son betrayed him and let him down. And oh, how the Brante family has lost its honor. All the crap that you're used to hearing at this point. Again and again, you hear your grandfather knocking at mother's door, screaming that it's all her fault. He blames her for ruining his chances to find bliss in the hereafter. Blames her for dooming to suffer the foot of the pillar. You overhear your parents talking one. Wait a sec. Well, his mind is slipping. I'll give him a break. His mind is slipping. Mother begs father to move Sir Gregor to his home and spare the children his decline. Father refuses outright. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. That boy anger. It is late at night. The hot, dry winds are coming. The house is empty, save for you, Nathan, Gloria, mother, and grandfather in his bed. Father is left for the capital on business. I know you can't help it, dude. You are engrossed in the history of the Empire, snapping out of your reverie only when the clock strikes midnight. You blow out your candle and get ready for bed. You hear the shuffling of heavy feet outside your door. You see light in the hallway. Grandfather. What could he want in the middle of the night? Is he going to try to kill somebody? You peek into the hallway once he's passed. Grandfather's figure sways as he heads for the door. Mother, she is. He's going to try to kill her. He opens the door and walks in. You hear him say something quietly. Your unease is stronger than your fear now. You sneak closer to hear his words. I need to cleanse my sins. I have to save my soul. You are my greatest sin. You and what you have done to Robert and his family. I should have put a stop to this marriage. I should have stopped Robert from taking the house by your presence. Why, oh why didn't I do it? Please, Sir Brante, I beg of you.
Silence! You will do my bidding. Fire will cleanse all low-born filth from this place. Fire and flame will free Robert from this disgrace. This is for my son's sake. For my son's sake. For my sake. I need to eradicate this low-born filth. The twins, they are calling for me now. I can feel it. He's gonna die, and he's gonna try to kill my mom. I don't care what happens anymore. I beg of you, please have mercy. Mother begins to cry. You run into the room, unable to stay out of this any longer. Grandfather's gaunt figure looms over Mother's bed. A lit oil lamp is in his hand. Mother is sprawled out on the bed, crying. Please just let me warn the children. I beg of you, Sir Brante. Your steps are loud enough to be heard. Grandfather turns to look at you. Stay out of this, Bermp. Be useful for once. Worldly matters concern me no longer. See only my sins now, and a sinner am I, a sinner. The twins, they forgive no one. They will judge me by the pillar. I must do something. I do not want to suffer for all eternity. Go away!
Mother is crying. Grandfather is still looming over her bed, driven to madness. I can do anything. I can do stuff. Okay. Yes. Yeah, because that is gonna take some willpower. His eyes shine in the dark. He truly believes this has to be done. You are suddenly torn. What if he's right? What if this is the only way for his soul to find salvation? Screw him and the lots and everything else that we've already found out is fake and we probably thought was fake from the beginning. Alright. I'm going to stop Grandfather, and this is going to make me more tired of an individual, but you look at Grandfather defiantly and step towards him. He stares you down with rage and throws the oil lamp at the floor. You manage to catch it, but just barely. Several drops of hot oil hit the rug, not nearly enough to start a fire. The lamp's glass is blistering hot. It burns your hands, but you still hold on to it safely.
You low-born scum, you've ruined everything. You're every bit like your mother, you.
Enraged, he takes a swing at you. You squeeze your eyes shut, but he does not hit you. Instead, there's a deep exultation. You peek at him with one eye just in time to see him collapse, all his strength fading away. His chest is heaving, his face a grimace of contempt. Another heavy exultation. The contempt is gone. There's only fear now. Grandfather's eyes wide open, almost in surprise, he exhales. His eyes grow dim. I told you a freaking heart attack was going to kill him. I told you he was going to stroke out and die. I knew that was how it was going to happen. Mother is there, whispering a prayer. She is shaking violently. You put the oil lamp gently on the bedside table. You son, you kid, you... To you, sir, all respect. And call for the servants. They carry the body away. It does not disappear. True death has found him. Wow. He will never return. You spend the rest of the night with Mother sitting in the room. She will not let go of your hand. Okay, I can change, I don't have to use the mouse all the time. Actually, I might not have to use the mouse at all. For many nights afterwards, she keeps seeing Grandfather's shadow out of the corner of her eye. Father returns. Okay, so yeah, he's dead, but there would have been no relationship with him. Father returns from Eterna the morning after. He's unusually composed as he arranges for the funeral. Well, I mean, yeah, it's his dad, and his dad helped to make him into the man that he is, which allows him to provide for the family. But I mean, it's his dad, and his dad was cruel. So he doesn't have to live with that cruelty hanging over his head from day to day. The house becomes quiet, not the looming, heavy sort of quiet for the past few months, but the calm relief you all feel now that the crazed old man is no more. As for Gregor Brante, the family's patriarch has departed for the hereafter, and this is his true death. Wow. Okay, so my willpower is... I've still got plenty of willpower, so it looks like, yeah, okay. Father returns from Eterna that morning after he is unusually... Oh, I already read that. So, yeah, my willpower went down, my ingenuity is up, and my nobility has gone up. Has it gone up? Yeah, it's gone up. Your grandfather, Sir Gregor Brante, left this world forever to meet the twin gods. Wow. But at the same time, I'm glad that this isn't plaguing my family anymore. And at this point, I've got a great relationship with my family, except for Stefan at this point. But even that's improved. The night of grandfather's death shook your family to the core. I also don't have to worry about this messing me up later on. No matter how it happened, your grandfather, Gregor Brante, is dead and will never return. He was a fearful shadow looming over the rest of the family, the Brante patriarch exerting his influence on all the lives below him, and all of you will remember him forever. When the patriarchy is bad, then yeah, I understand, but let's not forget that the patriarchy can be good too. Like, for example, Robert is a good patriarch, so don't diss all the patriarchy. Father is the new patriarch of the family now, and this is a good thing. Yet he still cannot bring himself to sit at the head of the table where Sir Gregor used to preside. Stefan locks himself away in grandfather's bedroom every day. He will not talk to anyone. Wow. Gloria and Nathan still jump at even the sound that so much resembles the knocking of his walking stick. Mother spends all day in prayer at the temple. Interesting. And yet, the house has become calm and quiet with his passing. There's one more thing that must be done. The final farewell weighs heavily upon your soul. The day comes to pay your final respects. Father goes to the tomb alone, save for Stefan, Nathan, and you. Mother and Gloria stay home. Only nobles, or those who may become nobles, may join this ritual. There is a solemn silence as you walk to the crypt. Father is the one who breaks this silence. You finally reach the door of the family crypt. Your grandfather built this crypt. Now he will be the first Brante to remain here, in body forever. First ever noble in our family, which is a remarkable feat. It is our duty now to hold the sacrament of flowing blood for Sir Gregor. We will honor his legacy and join him as the founder of the noble Brante dynasty. I don't know if it's going to become a dynasty, my dude. Stefan perks up at Father's words, his hand still clutched grandfather's sword. Tradition decrees that it must remain in the niche above the owner sarcophagus. Nathan, on the other hand, looks even more frightened now. Stairs carved of white stone lead you downward. Deep in the gloom of the crypt, atop a pedestal, you see the sarcophagus that holds your grandfather's body. Father takes a moment to compose himself before paying his final respect. Okay. Gregor Brante, my father, brought our family into nobility through his unshakable will. He was a judge and a loyal servant to the empire. He served his life as if he had been born a noble, and he never strayed from the path that he had chosen. He sought to make the Brante family ennobled by the sword so that our children's children might be of noble birth. And I get that, but at the same time, if it's all fake, the twins know I will abide by my father's words all my life, even if I could not obey him every time. Father lets out a bitter chuckle as he says this. Stefan glares at Father, then turns to glare and Nathan at you. After all, the two of you were born of Father's shameful decision to marry a commoner. All of you remember his disastrous passing. He did not die the true death he deserved. Yet we all must know that he fought for the future he believed in, to the very end. And he would be proud to see his family bid him farewell with a sacrament of nobility. And I bet you I'm going to get to choose here, and this is probably going to taint. Stefan still glares at Father sullenly. His fingers remain clutched around grandfather's sword. Nathan barely pays attention to his words. He looks around with unease, his arms folded across his chest. Father reaches into his jacket and pulls out a slender dagger, thin and sharp. He takes off his gloves. Watch me carefully, my sons. Make a small cut on the palm of your hand and let your blood flow into this duct on the wall for the crypt. It'll join your grandfather's blood here and flow forever. That seems a little bit of a stretch. Ancestor and the potency will become as one. We shall enter our family's blood tide and receive grandfather's final blessing. For his blood flows first in our blood tide. He will respond to you. You are a part of him, and he is a part of you. With a quick motion, Father slices. That is a deep cut, my dude. That is too deep. Like, you just cut, like, every tendon in your hand. You couldn't even just do this, and that way you're only cutting, like, the surface. You gotta go, like, whooah! Stefan cuts his hand without hesitation, does his father do. You receive the dagger next. The dagger's handle feels warm. You hesitate for a moment. You look at the palm of your hand. If you participate in this ritual, you will enter the Brante blood tide. You are a lowborn child, a child who is still a commoner. Are you ready to claim your legacy as a descendant? I can't ask for grandfather's blessing. Wow. Nathan, the youngest brother, will follow your example. You can be certain of this. You call for sacrament how you defied the lash. No, he would not be. He would 100% bleed. So cut every tendon in my hand and make my hand completely unusable for our time. You remember that fateful day when you were 8, the day when you tried to choose a different lot for yourself, and that's another time you frickin' sliced your hand open. You violated the ritual of the temple, you kissed the sword, and against all odds, you said you had the right to be a nobleman. Now you must confirm this right. You must join the Brante blood tide. You grasp the dagger firmly, then hold the blade to your skin and quickly drag it across your palm. Drops of blood. Drops of your blood fall into the duct, falling further into the crypt as they combine with the blood of your father and brother. The fresh wound burns on your hand.
What are you doing, Bermp? Why do you have to take this too long, father? These rituals for nobles, like myself and my fancy boy self.
His eyes meet Father's stern gaze. Ooh, 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 ooh. No one is to interrupt the sacrament. Indignant as he is, Stefan falls silent. Yeah, you fricked up, dude. You hand the dagger to Nathan. Your younger brother hesitates. Father's offers to help him, but Nathan shakes his head. Wow, finally he makes a cut, and Nathan's blood joins yours in the duct of the crypt. Even though I was the one to step up, even though Bermp was the one to... It breaks the tension of every serious moment in the history of this game. It's so funny. So, Nathan's blood joins yours in the duct of the crypt. The deed is done. It is time to close the sarcophagus. The lid falls into place in a heavy, resonant thud. Then suddenly you all freeze as each of you hears your late grandfather speak to you. Don't like that. His voice is loud and it rings in the depths of the crypt. And yet he speaks to each of you separately. Ooh. Shut up! I didn't want to hear from you anyways.
I think I have my descendant, son of a low-born woman. Time will tell how much nobility you have within, but I know this. I am your ancestor. You are my flesh and blood. I will be watching you always, and my shadow will follow you forever. Do not let me down.
Grandfather's voice falls silent. Can you guys hear me when I do that?
Do not let me down more.
Yeah, you can hear me. I've had, like I said, I have to reset my settings, and I wanted to fix a few things, and I think I've got it all set up correctly. You glance at your father and brothers, astonished. Save for Stefan, everyone else is dumbfounded as well. The ritual is complete. Stefan reverently kisses the grip of grandfather's sword and places it in the alcove above the sarcophagus. Once all is done, you leave the crypt together. Wow. Cool, fresh wind blows in your face as you return to the surface. Stefan storms off to the carriage, fuming. Great, he's becoming the new Gregor. Father stops halfway to the carriage and hugs Nathan and you briefly. Now your blood belongs to the dynasty of Sir Gregor Brante as well. And we have a great relationship with Dad now. But I'm betting the next one's going to be Stefan. Oh, not at all. Okay. All right, so does that close out our 13th year, or do we have more to go? Yeah, we got more to go. The fugitive girl. Grandfather's passing and last respects have left a mark on the entire family. His words relayed from the hereafter keep echoing in your mind. You still do your best to avoid the memory of grandfather's last night and spend more time on the city streets with Tomas and your other classmates. The road by the house reminds you of another clash with death. Sometimes as you walk along the road, you recall Sophia, the beautiful girl with the wonderful eyes and the terrifying, thundering hooves. You've not seen Sophia since that fateful day. Children who live nearby say her parents sent her to a rich Archnean family, the Ottons, as a servant. I bet you will meet her eventually. The sun is set, the door, and probably what's going to happen, I can almost guarantee you that what would happen is that, depending on how she reacts, she and Bermp would end up together. I just hope you're ready to have a husband named Bermp. But we'll see how things turn out. The stream seems oddly agitated tonight, full of horses, cloaked men, strange faces, and hushed voices. A young nobleman in a heavy embroidered cloak is walking back and forth, clutching his sword nervously. Can I just say, the music in this game is just beautiful. There's a grimace of rage on his delicate blue face. Ooh, screw you already. You overhear voices. Sir Otton, the girl is not home. We searched the house. Her parents swear she ran away from home too. They claim they wanted to bring her back. Dorius Otton. They would have a text. I don't know. What kind of a voice are you going to have? I don't know. I mean, if we want to be serious about what nobility sounded like, probably during a lot of European rule.
The state of our tips. Turn this lonesome district upside down if you must. Bring my servant back to me. She's here.
We're sticking with it. I don't care how stupid it is. Sophia ran away from an Archnean? How can this be? The only place in the entire street where a person could hide. The abandoned Morrill house. 4 houses away from yours. You head there doing your best not to attract attention. The lopsided house built of yellow bricks has been abandoned for 20 years or so. You remember playing there as a boy. You glimpse a figure inside even before you enter. A pair of eyes glimmering in the dark. You would recognize them even after 4 years. Sophia's grown up. She's almost an adult now. And her face is full of fear. She's not the easygoing girl next door that you remember. She finally recognizes you. How old is she? Wait a second. How old is she at this point? I don't think we know how old she is. She goes,
"Oh, Bermp, it's you. Be quiet. They're looking for me. I ran away from the youngest Arden. I might be in for a lesser death here, but I'd rather die spend another day in their slavery. I'm just a thing to him, a toy to play with.
Oh, poor girl. Sophia winces and closes her mouth as she says this. There's a glint of bright yellow deep in her eyes. No.
I ran away to my parents. I told them all about the men I had to serve. And I went and alerted the Ottons. They don't want to be the target of ire, but you aren't going to tip them off, are you?
No way. The barking and shouting are getting closer. Sophia's voice grows quiet. She runs off to the darkest corner of the house before you can answer. One of Otten's servants is so close you can hear his cloak swishing against the ground. He notices something and calls for the others. Screw you. Do you know who I am? There are more voices around you now. They approach the house from the yard and surround it. One of them seems particularly snappy, annoyed, and impatient. You've already heard this voice today.
If you're in there, girl, you'd be wise to come out and quit wasting my time. All will be forgiven and you will go back where you knew it. And if you don't, I will drag you out by the hair.
Yeah, there's no way Oh, I can't help her flee. I don't have the ingenuity. Oh, man. But, oh, yeah, okay. The hilt of the young Archnean's sword bashes at the door. He is about to lose his patience for good. I may lose 2 lives in order to save this girl. Well, dadgummit, if I die for her twice, she had better love me when she gets older. He is about to lose his patience for good. Sophia hugs the wall in the dark, trying to stay still. She glances at you. What will you do? Your heart is racing. Can you act against the Archnean's orders? Do you have the gall to defy the mighty nobleman?
I am Brante! I defied the sacrament! I am the son of a nobleman, and I kick butt!
Stopping Sir Otten. You pull yourself together and walk slowly to the half-collapsed doorway. Sophia stays behind. The tall young Archnean stares you down, his condescending smile dripping with scorn. In your most assertive voice, you answer his question. He will find no fugitive girl in this house.
What are you doing here, boy? I wasn't speaking to you out of my way.
Otten needs no permission to enter, so he steps inside. You stand in his way. You have already assured the young Archnean there is no one else inside. You have done him a great service. What makes him doubt your words?
Why, you low life. How dare you stand in an Archnean's way? You must have life to spare.
I'd stand up to you no matter what. Otten backhands you with immense strength, enough to send you flying. The Archnean draws his sword. It rises into the air, but then one of his men shouts, "Sir, there he is!" The Archnean turns around and briskly walks away. Sophia used your distraction to climb out the window in the back. You jump to your feet and escape the house in the same way. Sophia's slight silhouette is gaining distance far ahead. One of Otten's men is chasing her down, ready to catch her at any moment. Heck, I'm gonna stop this mother trucker. But then something unbelievable happens.
No!
Oh boy. Sophia lets out a dreadful scream, and air around her sizzles with golden sparks. Otten's man falls to the ground. Wow. Holy freaking crap. Clutching his head, Sophia freezes for a second, though uncertain of what she just did. What was that? So she's got the power, but it hasn't corrupted her or anything. Otten screams at her right next to you.
So that's how it is, eh? This wench is a witch. Satan.
Magic? Sophia's a witch? Sophia's silhouette disappears down an alleyway. Otten's men give her chase. They will never find her in the dark, sprawling district. You watch her go, Will you ever see her again? Well, you're about to die. Yay! A runaway girl becomes the talk of your district for an entire week. You overhear that Sophia managed to flee the city. The Ottons are furious. After this sudden appearance, she disappears from your life once more. You'll not see her again until much, much later. Oh man. Well, this is good. Yay. Oh, that makes me happy. Matters of the heart. Meet a girl. You experience your first romantic feeling. Heck yeah! That's how we do it. All right, what are we gonna do next? I'm guessing we're advancing to the next year, right? Yep. Looks like I got one more year. I am 15 years old now. You're about to turn 15, just one step away from adulthood. Oh, okay, so we are the same age. Mother is acting anxious at dinner today, barely touching her food. You exchange glances with Gloria. Gloria should be an adult by now. She carefully tells you that she wants to go to the tailor. Mother shudders, her hands clench into fists. No! Don't anybody leave home today, I forbid it. That dirty heretic Fotis is preaching his lies under the silver tree today. Twins willing, I don't want you to hear any of that. You and Gloria glance at each other again. Fotis. He's a patriarch, the head of the clergy throughout the entire province. It's the first time you've ever heard Mother speak like this about a priest, especially such a high-ranking one. Wow. I'm gonna end up following this dude, aren't I? Once you leave the dinner table, Gloria comes to your room with a cunning expression on her face, like she's about to play a trick on someone. Yes, yes, yes! Brother, sister, adventure! Brother, sister, adventure! Brother, sister, okay. She has a plan. The two of you should sneak out of the house and go to the silver tree. Brother, sister, adventure, defying all authority. That is how we do it in the Brante family. All right. You simply must hear the sermon for yourself. What's so bad about Patriarch Fotis? I'm probably going to agree with him. Why does Mother hate him so much? You two are grown-ups now. Surely you have the right to know. I mean, she's a grown-up. I mean, you're almost there. You agree with your sister. Together you sneak out from under your mother's watchful eye and hurry to the silver tree. This probably would not have happened if Gloria and I, or if I did not have such a strong relationship with Gloria. The crowd is gathered around the very roots of the tree. Gloria suggests... Oh, wait, I missed. Temple block is full of people from all ranks and estate. There is barely enough room for you to squeeze through the crowd. The crowd is gathered at the very roots of the tree. Gloria suggests that you climb up to the roof of a nearby building so you can hear and see everything better. And not a moment too soon, from the roof you see a tall, silver-haired priest step onto the platform by the tree, dressed in a common black robe that looks far beneath his rank. Yet he stands like a noble before the crowd. Behind his back is a banner flapping in the wind, the open book. This is the symbol of the new faith. Frick yes, I am pumped for this. I am so freaking excited for this. All right. Patriarch holds his hands up to the sky and his entire temple block grows quiet. He begins his sermon, his vibrant voice rolling across the square. Fotis speaks of a great mistake. Oh, I'm so pumped for this. Now I'm going to give you a good voice because I have a feeling that in my adulthood I'm going to follow you. Ooh, yep. I know it already. I see it already. We entrusted ourselves to the lots, and the only way to fulfill the divine providence in this world. But for all these years, the will of the twins has been interrupted for us by a single man, Prophet Issatias. The twins are ever watching from atop a shining pillar. Of this we have no doubt. But how can we so blindly believe that we truly follow their will by following the lots?
Have we not seen the 3 lots of Ishatias fail again and again to answer the question of how we ought to live our lives? Have we not seen people change their lot in life again and again without being smitten by divine wrath? Every person born, whether human or Archnean, low-born or noble, must find their lot and their way to the gods on their own. Whoa. Gloria and I are converting. From now on, we seek the gods in the accounts of their own lives, and their own acts in this world, and in their own words as they echo within us. And as we heed the voice of the twins within, we each find their path for us on our own. The crowd at the Silver Tree listens to the patriarch's speech in stunned silence. You glance at your sister, her eyes glisten with tears as she hears Photis' words. I love this. I may have to change Gloria's voice because just like, I can't keep disrespecting my girl like this. I love this sister. She's so great. She deserves more respect than what I give her. But dadgum, the voice is so funny. And it fits so well with her words sometimes. And suddenly, a hoarse cry raises from the crowd. If there are no lots, does that mean the nobles are going to till the fields? And are the commoners going to bear arms? The crowds begin to murmur. Patriarch raises an arm and inhales, ready to answer. An odd figure leaps into the crown of the platform, a dirty beggar dressed in rags, a knife flashes in his hand. The blade slices, blood starts spurting from Photis' throat. He slumps over and collapses. Holy crap! A dark brown puddle spreads across the platform where he had stood. Gloria clutches her mouth and suppresses a shriek. Holy frick! A few moments of stunned silence and then the screams begin. People are frantic. The temple guards try to restore order in the crowd, but to no avail. An old woman dressed in an inquisitor's cassock tries in vain to apply pressure to the patriarch's wound. If I suddenly lose you guys, it's because I lose power. The nobles draw their swords, dogs are barking, the crowd is pushing and shoving, children are crying, the entire square by the tree is chaos. From the roof you see the moment when the people start trampling each other, howling, praying, and shouting. Gloria tugs on your sleeve. Time to go. You climb down from the roof and run. You return home without exchanging a word. Mother's been in her room all the while, so no one noticed your absence. Gloria locks herself in her room. You do not discuss the things you have just seen. They are too frightening. But your parents discuss every little detail of the blood-stained sermon over dinner. This is unbelievable. Patriarch murdered in plain sight. The Archduke's guards have searched every corner of the slums, and the murderous beggar has disappeared without a trace. I can't even imagine a more gruesome crime. Photis has died a true death, never to return to the hereafter.
Oh, but how? We can't see the patriarch reborn? I'm so close to the twins. Oh, dude. I'm like on a really good high right now, dude.
Such is the way of the world, my children. Once you are granted great power by the twins, there is no hope for you to come back. Not even after the first of your deaths. Emperors, their powerful vassals, heads of the great Archnean dynasties, patriarchs of the church. None of them are destined to be reborn.
Photis is gone forever. I fear for his soul. It was lost in doubt. Will the twins accept him among the peaks of the pillar? We must pray for the patriarch, children. Let us hope he managed to return to the true old faith before the moment of his passing.
There is little hope for that. Okay, so there are points where you have to use. Wow. Man, we are almost to the schism, and I am growing up in the midst of it, and I'm going to end up pushing it over. Yeah, I'm going to end up pushing it to the fall of the old faith. Wow, yeah, and I'm probably not going to keep much order.
Tomorrow you turn 16 according to Imperial law. You will be a full adult. Your time at Sir Tibor School has ended. You have studied enough to apply for Imperial College and to learn the judge's trade there. You are to travel to Eterna tomorrow. Your friend Tomas will go there with you to try his luck in the Imperial capital. Mother and father prepare you for the long journey. Go ahead and read this for yourselves, friends. I'm going to refill my water because I'm still sick and my throat is just not happy. Alrighty, so I think we got the gist. Yeah, we got the gist of what's going on here, and this is going to be a longer episode. I know the last episode was kind of long, but I'm thinking this one's going to be longer just because I'm trying to wrap up the adolescent years. No, that's not going to happen because we know what's going to happen. Me and Sophia are going to end up together. The mother speaks to you carefully. There is worry in her eyes. But Robert, there may be another path for our son. Stefan, your firstborn, was born of noble. He will surely earn the title for the entire Brante family. Your second son bears the favor of the twins. For him, the path of the priest is a worthy calling, no less than a nobleman's sword. They have been arguing about your future for a while now. Still, she would never defy the will of a nobleman and her husband. You smile at them both, trying to placate at both of them. Gloria laughs quietly behind their backs. I can't not do the voice. I love Gloria, and she deserves better than this, but...
Just don't become a snare like Stefan, and you'll be just fine. As long as you don't act like, you know, what my voice sounds like, I think you'll be fine.
Mother chides Gloria. You wink at your sister. I love their relationship. Nathan has been downcast all evening. Oh, poor buddy. He barely touched his dinner. When everyone gets up at the table, he suddenly rushes over to embrace you. I love you, buddy. Oh, please don't go, Bermp. Can't you stay? I don't know what I'm going to do without you. You tussle his hair in response. There's no way you can stay now, you say. Yeah, how old am I? Because I keep trying to figure out how old he is. 15 years old, so he's like maybe 12 at this point. When you come home, and you will come home, you tell him all your stories and bring him a special present from Eterna. That is it. All your lessons have been learned. All your things have been packed for the road, and you will leave the family home tomorrow. Tonight is your last night at home before your departure. You walk through the rooms one last time. The sitting room where Mother used to read your fairy tales. The library where Gloria used to spend all of her time. Father's study, which you entered only on special occasions. The backyard where you taught Nathan to build a tower one summer. I remember, that was such a sweet time. The whole place feels so familiar. Oh, that's gonna be tough. Man, well, you guys already know who I'm going to spend time with, but I'll just go ahead and read through it. The whole place feels so familiar. Will you ever return? It's getting late and everyone is already in their rooms, but you hesitate. Father, Mother, Gloria, Nathan. It'll be a long time before you see them again. Who will you spend your last few hours at home with? Could spend time with Nathan. Can't spend time with Mother, but I don't think I would have. I think she's kind of been ticking me off a little bit lately. Yeah, the only ones I would be torn between would be Father and Gloria. And even though I think this would be a good thing, as I do this, I'm not going to use her silly voice because unless it's absolutely necessary, I think I'm not going to use her silly voice. But this just makes me so sad. Indeed, your sister is still awake. She jumps out of her armchair happily the moment that she sees you. They're so sweet together. They're so sweet. I'm so happy you're actually here, brother. You know, before you leave, I actually have something to tell you. Gloria takes your hand and leads you to the library. You light a lamp. Gloria pulls out a hefty volume from one of the shelves. Look, this is a history of the noble houses. It's got a story from how humans were first ennobled. I read all of it, and guess what? It didn't happen until after the expansion of the Empire. Apparently, there weren't enough Arcanians for all the land. They just couldn't rule it all by themselves. Arcanians have always treated humans like cattle, but human nobles are even worse. They're like paltry copies now, bearing their noble titles, wearing gems, studded jackets, bossing others around, and poisoning their lives. It makes me sick. Everybody says nobles were born to rule, but if you ask me, I say they're nobodies. There's nothing noble about demeaning others and living off their hard work. Gloria is unusually agitated. You know she's not exactly fond of nobles, but this is the first time that you've heard such burning scorn in her voice. Then Gloria stops herself suddenly and calms down. I just wanted to tell you, brother, you don't actually have to become a noble. If you're a noble, you'll have to follow their rules like Stefan does. You're not like him, I know that. Don't listen to Mother, and definitely don't listen to your father. They just want you to blindly follow them. It's true, Sir Brante spent plenty of money and effort on your education, but a noble title and a judge's rank were his dream for you, not yours. It's time to think for yourself. Her words spark a dispute. You keep debating into the small hours. Oh no. Soon you both start reaching into history and politics and morals for material, pulling out library books one by one to prove your points. It turns out Gloria is an excellent debater. Yeah, no kidding. All the days and nights spent in the library have honed her mind and rhetorical skills. The sun is about to rise. You should rest before the long trip, but you're not tired at all. But before you return to your rooms, Gloria locks you in to a heartfelt hug. Bermp, please promise me you'll find your own way out of there. You'll find your own way out there. You nod to her and hug her back, and she is off. You get into bed, but you can't sleep. Gloria's words keep you up all night. I am gonna miss Gloria so much. Ooh, that'll be helpful. Alright, departure from home. You leave the family home for a long time. Your future awaits you in Eterna, the capital of the Empire. Ooh, that sounds always really creepy. The end of adolescence. Last night was your final night at home. The carriage is now waiting at the gate, ready to take you to the capital. The clip-clopping of the idle hooves against the cobblestones count the seconds before your departure. You take one more look at your parents' house, and you recall your childhood spent there, in the nearby yards, at your school, and on the winding streets of Anazote. You clashed with the greater world around you and survived. You felt the tingle of emotion for the first time. You were taught by the school and the streets. You explored the city of your birth and learned something of its past. You witnessed firsthand the events that will be remembered in history for all time. All of this is yours now, forever. You saw death, lesser death, followed by rebirth, and then the true death that takes and never gives back. You saw death lying in wait to strike the unaware, like a beast stalking its prey. You saw grandfather's angry grimace, lit by the flickering fire of the lamp, the Archduke's cavalry tramping those who stood away, and your older brother's bloodied sword slicing through the air. Death has followed you from a very young age, and it seems like it does in this, and it does in this world too. And I think that before I move on, that's something we kind of take for granted in the States. Like, here in the States, like, we take for granted how little death we see. We don't see death like some of these other nations do, or like other cultures do. We're not used to it. And I think that's why we struggle with questions that the rest of the world doesn't struggle with. Just to kind of relate it to what we're talking about right now, as of this recording, because like I said, these are really backlogged. This is taking place and being recorded shortly after Roe versus Wade is overturned, and then there's like countries all in Europe that are like dissing us left and right for our stance on women. And what people aren't realizing is a lot of those European countries that are getting onto us are less pro-abortion than a lot of states here in the U.S. Like their laws are more strict in restricting abortion than ours are here. Like, we live in such a bubble and we don't understand it. And I like games like this that kind of open that bubble up a little bit and say, there's a world outside of you. There's a world outside of the US. There's a world outside of this safety net. And it's a dark and difficult world. I appreciate this game because it opens up that world and forces you to look at it. And yet you live on. You have a friend who's been by your side all these years. Tomas taught you many things, and we've got a good relationship with Tomas. How to take a hit, how to keep your word, and how to remain true to your own self. Oh yeah, we fought with Tomas. That was how we got together. I forgot about that. And now Tomas is walking to the same carriage as you are, with a heavy bag slung over his shoulder. Your friend will remain your companion for the time being. Ahead of you is a long trip towards the capital and adulthood. For the first time, you will be away from your family and home. What awaits you in the future? This has been really good, but now that I'm leaving home, it's like I'm starting the game all over again. I mean, grandfather's dead. Stefan is still out there. And I have an okay relationship with him. But I'm away from Gloria and Dad and Nathan and Mom, all of whom I have very good relationships with. I'm away from Sophia, whom I have a growing relationship with. Like, it's like I'm going to be starting the game all over. All right, what are we at? Diplomacy. Oh. Okay. Proficiencies in the laws of the Empire, as well as your connections and influences among the ruling elite and high society. It affects your ability to negotiate with people of importance. Most important to the judge. I am incredibly inattentive. How attentive you are to other people or world around you. It affects your frame of mind and skills you have when you grow up. Wow. But I'm honorable. And I think I'm going to end up building on that nobility. All right, let's flip through because I'm betting that this is going to be the rest of my stats. My ingenuity is enterprising, which is very good actually. and my manipulation is naive. Wow, there's a lot of crap going on here. And all of it requires perception, which I have none of, because I don't give a crap about what other people think. Which is kind of true to life as well. I was trying to live out the character of Bermp, and I've pretty much just lived myself. My theology, a neophyte. What is that? Your proficiency with the sacred texts. Very low. Yeah, and there's no way. I'm not doing any of those things. Like, I'm staying down here. Here we go. Here's some things that are going to be a little stronger. Okay, so weak in battle, but that should build. Because I am resolute and I am honorable. So that should build more. My determination is resolute. My ingenuity, my scheming is inexperienced, but I'm almost there. I just need one more point. One more point. And sorry guys, my wife is on her way back from New York right now. And she's getting on the road. Alright, what do we got? My eloquence is tongue-tied. Your ability to instill faith and to guide and lead other people. Alright, so I would only need one more point in either my determination or spirituality. I'm more likely to increase determination. These are your personal qualities in adulthood, which you will use for the rest of your life. They are the sum of the qualities that you have gained in childhood and adolescence. For most skills, you will need between a 10 and 16 values. Values 17 through 19 are required for rare and especially difficult choices. The maximum value, 20, only gives you the chance for one extraordinary deed. Oh, wow. That's... oh, man. Now just looking over, and I'm still fairly ready for action. I've died once. Wow. This has been really good. So I do think I am gonna buy the full version and play it for you guys. If I have to replay it in order to get back to where I am, I'm going to keep everything the same. I'll go back through my old content and make sure that I'm doing exactly the same things that I've done up to this point, because this has just been gold. I am loving this game, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well, because quality games like this don't come around very often. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. If I do end up buying the game, then the next thing that you will see is picking up in the next stage of life. But oh yeah, click out of the screen, it goes quiet.